Hey everybody, welcome to the Sharp Tongue Podcast. I'm your girl Jessimae Peluso, and I might sound a little congested because I am. Ooh, watch out folks. The cold season is coming with a fucking fury out there. I just got back from shows in Minnesota at the the Mall of America, House of Comedy. Thank you to everybody who came out. I apologize for not making it to the Thursday show. I feel like the past couple of years, so many things have happened that don't normally happen for people. Like for me, I'm normally very organized. And Thursday, right before I leave to come to Minnesota, just can't find my ID for whatever fucking reason. Can't find my ID that I always have ready to go for a flight and a trip. All of a sudden, I don't know where the fuck I put it. I have no fucking idea. So I couldn't get to Minnesota, but that's okay because the Friday and Saturday shows were so much fucking fun. Thank you guys. That was Bunny making noises. I'm sitting in my bed because when I got back from Minnesota, I was not feeling well. It is not coronavirus, thankfully, but this happened to me when I got back from that was Carlin growling. That was him putting his nose in the microphone. When I got back from the Unleash the Power Within seminar, Tony Robbins seminar, I came back and I was sick for a week. So I have a theory about it all. And this is the intro for our episode here. But I have a theory that because I wasn't traveling like normal the past 2 years, maybe my immune system just got recalibrated to this very sensitive place where even little amoebas that before I was able to fight off, I can't now fight off because I haven't been traveling as much and my immune system isn't what it normally is. But you didn't like that, Carlin? Carlin didn't like that. He was calling me a bitch. I think, having to wear a mask all the time isn't necessarily, this is not a fucking political thing. I really think there's some science to like having to wear a mask all the time and it's sort of fucking up your immune system. I don't normally get sick like this. I do not normally have colds. Maybe once in a while. Get back, Carlin. You're going to step on the laptop. So Carlin did step on the laptop and just stopped my recording. Carlin is my dog. He is not a unruly human. He is an unruly pit boxer. I really do think that my immune system is different now, and that makes me a little wary. I have to be honest. So wash your hands, folks. Make sure if you're not feeling good, you don't go out. That's the one thing. It's hard for a lot of humans and Americans that we have to work and take care of our families. We can't miss work, but hopefully if you're not feeling good, you have the capability of staying home. And I honestly was really excited to be able to record the episode that I recorded, this one you're about to listen to. We recorded in the Mall of America, and that was kind of exciting. I didn't know if we were going to get kicked out or what the rules were, but we made it work because we're sneaky Pete's, and we snuck this one in, and it was really fun. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Before we tell you who our special guest is this week, make sure you go over to the YouTube page, youtube.com/Jessimae Peluso to support the YouTube channel. Make sure you also check out my Instagram page. Do you know me? I am on Instagram. Hello. Say hello. Jessimae Peluso on Instagram. And what else do we have going on? Oh, our last wide open tour date will be New Year's Eve in Syracuse, New York. Hometown show. Wrapping up the 2021 fall tour, wide open tour in my hometown. New Year's Eve, spend it with me. Make a trip. It's going to be great. The weather's been like LA weather here, so don't worry about snowstorms. Probably tsunamis are going to hit us before a snowstorm in Syracuse. The weather is crazy. The world is ending. Come end 2021 with me, Syracuse Funny Bone, New Year's Eve. Hope to see you there. It's the last wide open tour date. And without further ado, I hope you enjoy this episode with the one, the only, the podcast producer of Megan Trainor's podcast, Adam Corolla's podcast, Adam Ray's podcast, my podcast, and his very own A Long Walk to Cleveland podcast, the one, the only, the velvety voiced, Mr. Rudy, a.k.a. Toods, Pavich. Sharp Tongue Podcast. Beep, 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 beep. You're listening to the Sharp Tongue Podcast. I'm your host, Jessimae Peluso. It's a personal look. Well, it's not really a look because it's a podcast. I'm already fucking this up. This is kind of like a verbal comedy diary, a deep look into the crevices of my mind. It's gonna get dirty. You might cry. You'll probably laugh. Hopefully you'll laugh. The whole point is for you to laugh, but you also might cry. I talk about my family. I talk about farts. I talk about love, loss, comedy, how hard it is to make it in this biz. I'm a fucking professional. Each week it's something different. Sometimes I have a guest host. Sometimes it's gonna be a movie companion episode. Sometimes I just ramble about the bullshit I dealt with the week before. You never know what you're gonna get. It's raw, uncut, and funny. It's me. There we go.
Yeah.
Now bitch is ready to be in Minnesota.
Buffalo Plaid.
Buffalo Plaid. My sister has the whole house decked in Buffalo Plaid. Whose podcast are we doing?
I don't know. Yours, mine. Doesn't matter. It's a sharp
way to Cleveland.
Yeah, that's fine.
A long way to Sharp Tongue.
We're going to tongue Cleveland is what we're going to do.
Well, God bless. Merry Christmas, America.
Have you noticed the groups of small children walking around in matching Buffalo Plaid?
Well, that is in my sister's house.
Fuck.
Has it been a thing? Like, I don't remember when that became the dominant Christmas print. Like, I know my sister's had it evolved in her house, but I feel like it's a thing that's really sort of, it's like a disease. It's become an infectious disease.
Yeah. You know when everybody was doing the gray with like the sort of gray and yellow?
Oh, yeah, like
combo?
the Chip Gaines,
yes.
the Chip and Joanna Gaines vibe.
That's what it is now.
Like a gentle Christmas.
Yep.
It's a
gentle Christmas.
It's a PC color, really, if you think about it. Everybody can enjoy Buffalo. It's the non-offensive Christmas decor. Well, it's the whole house is scantily clad in Buffalo Plaid.
The whole thing.
The whole friggin' house. The cat, the dog.
Wow. So, bigger house? Like, is it like? Does she have like 7 or 8 Christmas trees? Because I have a family member that does 7 Christmas trees.
Really? That's excessive.
Too much.
That's
too
excessive.
Much. Yeah.
Are
too
they an
much.
obsessive person?
Very much so.
What else do they have 7 of?
Divorces.
Perfect. Clip it. I drive Mike. Wait, we should say whoever's listening already knows who the fuck Rudy is. But Rudy you produce so many podcasts. You have like 45 podcasts.
It's ridiculous. And like 47 of them are yours, which is just too more than what you said.
Oh my God. Do I have too many podcasts?
No, not at all. 31 is fine. There's one for every day of the month. It's totally okay.
Speaking of someone who has 7 things, it's me.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
7
Yeah. Everywhere. I know. You just leave them around. Little Christmas gifts.
Yeah, there's just like little crumbs of podcasts all around my house.
Yeah.
It's just, I talk a lot. And why not,
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no reason for that. Why it has to be, you can only do 1 or 2. I don't like the fact that they tell you that you are only supposed to have, they tell you to have 7 streams of income, right?
Thank you.
Yes, 7 streams of income is what you are supposed to have.
I'm a successful woman.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
I'm shit, yeah, that's a good one. I like shit. Wait, Rudy, can we do this?
Do what?
I'm going to be a Virgo. I'm going to move this. Wait.
Is it a little off for you?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
There we go. Look, this is what, okay, by the way, this is what drives Rudy nuts, is that you tell me what drives you nuts about me. If you could just say anything. And it won't affect our work relationship.
This is going to sound crazy. You know what I don't like about you is that you don't give yourself enough credit for how techie you are.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Am I really techie?
Absolutely. For the people that I work with the amount of people that I have to deal with every day, you wouldn't believe how many people can't do shit for themselves.
Really?
Yes. You are somebody that when we first started working together, I was really amazed at how much knowledge you had just of like all the tech aspect of it. I mean, you were talking about like, audio gain. You were talking about like stereo mono. You were talking about inputs, outputs. I was like, holy shit, like this girl's got her stuff together.
I really just Googled a bunch of words and then said them. It said how to impress your new podcast producer, and audio gain and input output were the 2 top words.
I do that a lot too. I'm always like, SEO. We got to get some SEO going.
7 sources of income.
Yeah, right. It's all buzzwords. Just trick people into thinking what the fuck you're talking about.
That really, there's videos on it on YouTube. But I did, I produced a podcast by myself for so long. And then when I started to branch out, I was like drowning. But you're doing, can I say, does everybody know what podcast you do?
Yeah.
So you're doing Megan Trainers now.
Yep, Megan Trainer's working on it.
Adam Corolla.
Yep, the Adam Corolla podcast.
Adam Ray.
Adam Ray's about last night.
Which is how I found you.
Yep.
Because I was like, I just loved everything Adam was putting out there. And I said, please make my podcast look and feel like that.
Oh.
And now you have 4 podcasts.
Well, then, yeah. So those 4, but then also the Deuce and Girl.
Oh, that's right.
you know those things that you do every week with other people? Those things that you put out, that content that people know you for.
And then Spotify, we've been working together. Spotify and I've been trying to create something for years. And quarantine sort of like put a wrench in the whole plan. And then we just spoke a couple days ago and they're like, yeah, we want to create some podcasts with you. I'm like, ruh-roh. They want to do a developmental deal. And I'm like, oh no. I'm literally just going to be, I'm not going to be talking anymore in real life because I do it so much here. Yeah. Not that this isn't real life, but it's like you do it a lot as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. We all figure out. It's funny like how I guess electronically has become the new organic.
It is weird.
Yeah. Because if you think about like dating and stuff too, people constantly talk about like, it's not even the matter of, oh, so where did you guys meet? It is, what app did you use?
It really is, and it's become that more predominantly, especially through quarantine.
Yeah.
Speaking of dating, I gotta moisten my lips. Here's my Joe Rogan fanny pack.
Ooh,
humble brag.
Oh my, dude, that is some nicely bound leather.
It really is. Yeah. Yes, my office smells of rich mahogany.
Yeah. So is that actually? I can't see because
it says Higher Primate. It's his logo,
it's
and
his logo there.
He partnered with this company, and this is my travel pack.
Did he actually raise the cattle from birth?
Yeah, he actually shot the cattle. He didn't shoot it with an arrow. He gave it a dirty look and it just keeled over.
Flexed at it. Cow's like, fucking it. I'm just going to check out now. It's so much easier.
Rogan and Cameron Hayes.
Yeah.
Just shooting dirty looks at animals across pastures.
Yeah. Speaking of chapped lips, I had some this morning and I got up and I looked at my daughter. I'm like, hey, you got chapstick? She's like, yeah, but not for you.
Yeah, you need a stick of butter, bro.
It's
so dry out here.
Dude, it's crazy, is it not?
Fuck?
I know.
How do you guys survive in Minnesota? My feet are cracking.
Yeah, I was going to say, as soon as you leave by like Tuesday of next week, check your cuticles. Because it's just going to be nothing but like cracked ends and blood.
They should have signs around Minnesota that says check your cuticles. Because the shit is crisp out here. I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought I wasn't hydrating. But damn, my hands look like... My hands are like 50 years older than I am. That's how dry and cracked it is out here. Is it winter all year long here?
We spend 6 months of the year in winter and the other 6 getting ready for winter.
Damn.
Yeah.
And do you find like, for me, because I've lived in LA and I'm from upstate New York, and I have the comparison of those two areas, which are so different, and it produces such a different type of people because of the environment and the weather.
Yeah.
The weather really produces the mood of the town and the area.
Absolutely.
Do you find that people, not that I consider New Yorkers grumpy, they just have an edge to them because I feel like it's a little bit harder of a life. And it's, it's arduous just to get around. Do you find like people are like that here in Minnesota?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm from northern Minnesota. I'm from just south of Canada. So, when that's all you do is, I got up this morning and my mom is in town staying with my daughter. And I got up this morning. Isn't it though?
My mom's dead.
Dude.
I got to drop it in whenever
Clip
I can.
it.
Clip it out. It's the greatest inside joke in the world.
Totally, yeah. But like we got up this morning and it had snowed here in Minnesota last night, like 2.5, 3 inches.
Yeah.
And I threw on the boots and my mom was already up and at 'em like shoveling this morning.
Yeah, so that's a different type of woman.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
The women here are just different.
We're made for breeding. That's it. There's no...
You guys are made for hibernating and breeding.
That's all it is. Yeah, we are definitely not here for like looks. There's no looks.
There's
no looks
look,
at all.
though.
Yeah.
I will say, like, the Minnesota man, to me, has that sort of quintessential traditional man vibe.
Dude, that guy in the crowd last night at House of Comedy with that beard. Holy shit. I had wood. I was like, I am Arm & Hammer. Look at you, sir. Look at that thing. Oh.
Yeah, I love a big, thick fella. I don't know what it is, what it is about my like genealogy or who I am as a human that just likes that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's hardwired into us.
Don't you think so?
I definitely believe it. I know like everybody is super progressive nowadays and they're like, hey, they need a man who's sensitive. I'm like, yeah, but they also sometimes need somebody to fucking install a cupboard.
Yeah, or like Rogan says, I need to get gorilla fucked.
Yeah. I think when I watched that episode, I think he called you like savages.
Yes, I like savages.
Savages. Yeah.
There's something about that. That's right. We clipped that.
Yeah. clipped it. We clipped it out.
I was like, please make the savage clip so that all the savages could see.
Totally. Yeah.
What now, as a Minnesota man, what is your type of chick? Are you into like a light, hairy-legged, tree trunk trucking?
Well, we do. Yeah.
Snow shoveling. Get me a beer. Woman? No,
we well, if you meet somebody in like January and you guys hit the sheets, like you'll never see their feet because we always fuck with shoes on or with socks on because it's super cold. You don't want to take them off.
You guys, is that called cupping, right? When you like get together in the winter.
In the wintertime, cupping, yeah.
Which to me, it's like, why is it cupping? Maybe there's like a real science to this or like an explanation. I need to Google it.
I don't know.
Why it's called cupping?
I don't know why.
I'm going to Google it right now and see.
I'm sure there's got to be
something.
Okay. Well, hang on. It's actually 2girls1cup.com. Just fire that in.
It could be. That could be it. Like you get together in the winter, and the next thing you know, you're pooping into cups.
Yeah.
And you're earning a steady income.
Well, I'm actually funny you bring that up because next weekend I will be pooping into a bucket.
You will?
Yes.
Good for you.
3 days.
You're fishing?
Fishing.
We were gonna go fishing this weekend, but my dumbass lost my ID. I missed the Thursday show. Sorry for anybody who wanted to show up to the Thursday show. It was literally, and it was my own fault. Normally, I have everything ready to go. I'm an anal Virgo.
Yeah.
And I didn't that morning. I just assumed everything was fine, and it was just like me throwing clothes everywhere, swearing like, fuck. It was like 10:15. My flight was leaving at 11:30 and I hadn't even left my house yet, but we live close to the airport. And at about 10:35, I was like, fuck, there's no way I'm even making it to Minnesota today.
Yeah.
So I apologize for everybody who wanted to come out, but okay. Here we go.
Cupping.
Oh, wait, no, it's an ancient form of.
Oh, they're thinking about the cupping you put on the backs of your shoulders to, As a couple, right? Is that sure?
Is that what we're calling it?
That would work, yeah. To get back to the girls that I like girls that know how to circumnavigate Google.
I can't. I don't find it anywhere.
I don't know.
Is it really called cupping?
I think it's called cupping. Winter cupping?
What's it called when you get together? People are listening like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, somebody's screaming at their fucking car stereo right now. Just like, it's fucking cupping. Stop it with the cupping.
I need to know. Okay, now while I'm looking.
Do you guys know what cupping is? By the way, we're at the Radisson in Mall of America.
We're at Mall of America recording. We have two ladies, very nice women on the other side. We can't see.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what it's called when people get together in the wintertime and they hibernate together? Have you heard of that term?
No.
Just fucking, right?
Yeah.
Just fucking. Getting cozy and fucking.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right? We'll go with that.
She's like, I send boys away after 4 hours. There's no cupping going on.
Well, whatever it's called, I'm looking to get it done. And I think I'm running a little late on the time because it's already, what is it, December 18th now?
Yeah, 18th. Yeah.
Which for me is weird because like in upstate New York, it's 60 degrees.
Yeah,
right now. And everyone enjoys it because, that winter depression really sinks in those areas.
As you were bringing up earlier, that's the weather dictates how we are as a people.
It does.
And I'm telling you, man, like Minnesota, we're amazing when the Christmas lights are on. But dude, January 3rd, we are such assholes.
That fucking like snowy slush.
Yes.
That gray slush.
It's awful.
And people just like put their hand on an axe considering murdering someone.
Yeah, swinging that thing around.
Just a little winter murder.
Totally.
And I feel like in places like this where winter is such a prominent force of nature, literally.
Yeah.
I feel like the government should give people like a slight purge. Not where you're killing people, but where you can like maybe go and just rabble rouse a little bit.
Yeah, that's why those axe throwing things. There's actually one here at Mall of America. Those little axe.
Now I take it back. I think I redact that statement. It might be a bad idea. I'm picturing angry people throwing axes, and it probably won't go well.
Yeah.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah, we haven't been on a date in 3 years. Now you want to take me to axe throwing, sweetie?
Oh my God.
There's no reason.
I went on a date. That was one of my first dates.
Bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? A guy took you axe throwing?
Yes, a guy took me axe throwing.
Wow. How'd you do?
I did pretty good. I shocked myself at my accuracy with an axe, which is good as a woman. I think it's important to have like survival murder skills.
Yeah, shit.
You never know.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're the less powerful species when it comes to like our physique.
Mhm.
So, you might need to toss an axe at a motherfucker.
That's funny you say that because I've always felt that women much more aggressive. Like if they had if there was like seriously, if you girls were like physically as a whole were bigger than dudes, you'd kick the fuck out of us constantly.
That's a really good point. Maybe the reason why nature sort of balanced our physique out with you guys being a little bit smaller traditionally is because we would kick your fucking ass.
Totally. Hey, just go back and Google an old episode of American Gladiators.
Oh my God, I used to love American Gladiators.
Dude, the late
China.
Yes.
Remember China?
Well, China was WWE.
But
I don't think
didn't she start in American Gladiators?
maybe.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about American Gladiators.
Yeah. Dude, they had people like Ice, Laser, and they would just beat
Nitro.
Nitro. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, that dude.
Clip it. Add it in. I used to love that show.
Yeah, and the women were always way more aggressive than the dudes, like always. And maybe it was just because like there was like maybe there's something of like women know that they can have a higher tolerance for pain because of childbirth.
Definitely something to that.
So they just fucking go nilly-willy.
They do. They go nilly-willy and willy-nilly. I like that. It's reverse. I'm going to start saying nilly-willy. That sounds like somebody's really cool stoned aunt.
Yeah, work it into a sentence.
Nilly-willy's coming over.
Work it into a sentence.
But also maybe women are a little bit more aggressive because we rear children. And so maybe we have a little bit more ferocious desire to survive because we're not only protecting ourselves, we're also protecting our young.
Absolutely.
Not that you guys don't, but you guys go out and hunt and you gather. You go away from us. We're the ones that are at home or wherever taking care of the young. So maybe we're a little bit more ferocious because we had to protect the little ones.
Yeah, you've never heard anybody go, oh my God, don't get around that daddy bear and his cubs.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
No one says don't get around that daddy bear.
Daddy bears don't give a shit.
Daddy bear's gone fucking another mommy bear.
Yeah.
Ruining his home.
Daddy bear went out for a pack of cigarettes, never came back.
Never came back drunk.
Yeah.
Off of honey.
All the time. Yep.
And slept for the whole weekend.
Yep.
Didn't pay any attention to his children.
My dad was a Kodiak.
Was your dad a good person? Let's start the podcast there. Was your dad a good person?
He's a good person. He just makes terrible decisions.
I feel like that's a lot of people.
Oh my! Isn't that the truth? Everybody. It's funny because because I'm 41, and even at 41, I still sometimes will be driving down the highway and just it'll dawn on me about something I did in high school, and don't you just stop and just go, what the fuck was I thinking? Like it just comes out of you and you're like, oh my God, man, like it happened 25 years ago. Why are you still thinking about it?
We have those thoughts that make us feel like we're idiots. Speaking of good people making bad decisions, I'm just going to pull I forgot I had my Crest white strips in.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice. Yeah. Oh, look how white.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Send this to your dads. We're going to clip this and send this to all your single rich dads. Because I've been promoting that so much. On the subjects of dads.
Mm-hmm.
So many of them have been sliding in the DMs.
No shit.
So many.
You willed it into your DMs.
I really did. I willed all the dads into my DMs.
That's right.
And I do preface it with a single dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a home wrecker.
Yeah. Good for
anymore.
you.
I did that in my 20s.
No, really?
Not like wrecking homes, but definitely not seeing if making sure there weren't other people living there.
It's probably just walk up to the mailbox, open it up. You're like, who's Jill?
Yeah. So is that your sister? Do you live with your sister? Cool. It's like 20-year-olds, you don't really, it's like the point of, good people make bad decisions.
Yeah.
You're reckless.
Yeah.
You're reckless in your 20s or in your youth. If you were raised a certain way, you're not really, for me, not that I wasn't considering other people. I just was flying by the seam. Is it seam or seat of your pants?
The seat of your, I get no seam. It has to be, here we go
now
again.
I gotta Google and not
God
get an
damn
answer.
it. Why don't you try to bring this up and then we find cupping?
Do you guys know if it's flying by the seat of your pants or the seam? Flying by the seat of your pants. Have you heard of that saying? Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to Google it. I'll find out for us. I think so too.
If you're a seamstress, I think you would want people to go by seam. Yeah. Yeah.
Flying by the seat of my pants.
The seat of my pants.
That's what it is.
It's like drinking a Red Bull and then just out your butthole, just two little tiny white wings. Yeah. Whoop.
Throwing back some fire. What do they call those shots? Everybody.
Fireball.
Fireballs.
Yeah.
And then hitting the highway.
Yeah.
That's flying by the seat of your pants. There was this article that I just posted about cannabis legalization.
Mm-hmm.
And me saying this, getting on the highway, made me think of this. Now, in New York State, it's becoming legalized or is legalized. And now they're considering different areas and neighborhoods and towns in New York State are considering having dispensaries and on-site consumption places.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But a lot of places, I think like something like 30% of places declined to have dispensaries in their towns. Now they can go back and have them put back in later on.
Yeah.
But initially they're saying they don't want them because they're worried about their kids.
Do they hate money?
That's the first thought I had. The second thought was, aren't there liquor stores?
Absolutely. Yeah. Also,
isn't drinking and driving way worse
1,000 times
than anything else?
Yeah, 1,000 times. Here in Minnesota, funny you bring that up because here in Minnesota, we have municipals. So basically, like they're government-run liquor stores. So like every city has their
weird.
Yeah. So like the city that I live in is Richfield, and we have 4 municipal liquor stores. So they're run by the city. They're owned by the city.
Who works them? Like prisoners?
That was another point that I brought up too. I was like, why don't we start like bringing in some people instead of everybody getting, us hiring out? Let's get some people that own community service or something.
Lower those recidivism
Exactly.
rates.
So there was a place called Total Wine that had moved into the area. And basically what the cities did around here, they sent out letters to all the constituents saying, hey, we know their prices are lower, but if you don't want your taxes to go up, you might want to consider still shopping at the municipals. So I wrote them back. I got online and wrote them back and said, I'll tell you what.
You pulled a Karen.
I was like, I'll tell you what. I'll strictly shop at your stores if I go out and do something stupid because of the product that you sold me. If I go out and get a DWI or I plow my vehicle into a tree and I can prove that I did it off the liquor that you sold me, I don't get a fine.
I think that's a really fair exchange.
And they were like, yeah, it doesn't work that way. I was like, well, then I guess I'm going to Total Wine because their bottles are like literally $7 cheaper. So go fuck
screw
yourself.
You and your government liquor store. It sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
Yeah. And plus, to bring up the point about like children, if you like children, if you want your kids to succeed,
bring marijuana into your town.
Absolutely. I would love it if my daughter, not because I don't want her to be altered. Being altered is being altered, regardless of how it is, whether it's weed or whether it's alcohol. But if my daughter was like, hey, I don't want to drink booze, but I definitely would like to smoke a little bit of weed, I'd be like, absolutely, you go for it. You go for it. Now, it doesn't run in our family because like I've tried many times.
Everyone's stoned. Anybody who's stoned doesn't jog.
Yeah.
There's no running when you're stoned.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. I've tried many times and it doesn't work for me. But I feel like between the two, like the poison that is alcohol and the poison that is weed, pick weed every time, man. Yeah, for sure.
The beautiful thing is that, because I'm such a huge advocate of marijuana, I'm just waiting for reports and data to show the negative aspects of it. And the reports that were run, Sanjay Gupta spoke about this, most of the marijuana clinical trials that they've done and studies that they've done were done by the sole purpose to find something negative about it. And so they found something negative about it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Like all of those clinical trials for marijuana, none of them were in the purpose to discover what good comes from it and the benefits of it. It was all, what's wrong with marijuana.
Yeah.
So they're going to discover the worst parts of it.
Yeah.
But, there has been, you have to look at Colorado, like the legalization there really affected the drinking and driving incidences and the amount of alcohol consumption in general. It has this amazing effect on a society that legalizes it, where it sort of levels out the other things that are going on associated with like drinking and driving.
Yeah.
I know for myself, like the more I smoke, the less I drink.
Sure. That makes sense. Yeah.
Obviously I lived in LA where you can't really drink and drive unless you want to crash your car. And that's not a sport or a pastime that I enjoy.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm, ripping some martinis and taking laps around the neighborhood. I'm not 18 anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And plus also the surplus in taxes that it creates.
Hello?
Hey, dude, if you want your schools to be top notch, I don't think there's a school in Colorado right now that is not, super high tech with all the best amenities. And it all came from weed money.
Right. And they should have a hot box room in all the schools.
Wouldn't that be
awesome? Is that
awesome?
too aggressive?
I don't know.
Just a hot box room and the teachers can sign off on it. The parents can sign off on it.
I don't like that if you're 18 and you still go to school that you still have to abide by the school's rules of anybody who goes to that school. Yeah. Like you're not allowed to smoke. Like I get when you're 17, but dude, when you've hit that
legal age,
yeah,
aren't you supposed to be able to? I mean, the way I look at it, and I think some people share in this sentiment, is if you can get shipped off to war, you should be able to make decisions for yourself. If you can enlist, you should be able to do whatever you want to do and make the decisions you think are right or wrong for
Yeah.
yourself. It's
Yeah.
just a part of growing up. But I will say, I just want to preface, like, because I know if you guys have listened to Sharp Tongue, you know, I've spoken to Dr. Daniel Amen. There is scientific evidence of consuming marijuana in a developmental brain, in a brain that's developing, that can really affect the way your brain does develop. So I'm not like condoning teenagers smoking weed. It's a joke. But for me as an adult, marijuana has been an amazing medicine. But, you know, the female brain stops developing around early 20s.
Yeah.
So a hot box room in the school, maybe for the teachers, not for the kids. I think the teachers would be amazing. Can you imagine if teachers could like take edibles and then get in there and teach math?
Totally. Would be great. Just
get in there and explain algorithms.
Yeah, just microdosing in the teacher's lounge.
Yeah,
that would be great. You do that at all? Microdose?
I do microdose.
Yeah,
right now.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it's an interesting effect. It's sort of, I would imagine, for people who need Ritalin, and any sort of like focus medicine, people who are high functioning ADDs like myself. I've never taken any narcotic or pharmaceutical to deal with it. So microdosing on marijuana has sort of become my way of anchoring myself. It's crazy how microdosing with marijuana has made me more focused, because there's such a stigma about people being like these stoners on the couch. I mean, fuck, you know me.
Go.
All
the time.
There's no fucking couch.
No.
I wish I had more of a couch in my life. I need a couch.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice.
A couch would be fucking nice.
Just with a little gumball dispenser that just popped out a little bit of weed every once in a while. Yeah. Dude, I think we're onto something. I think
you need that in your pod studio.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
But you're not a huge weed guy.
I'm not. I wish I was, though. I wish I was. Because my dad is such a good drunk, and when I say good, he's obviously fucked up and has nothing.
My dad's a good drunk.
My dad's a good drunk. Put that on a bumper sticker, everybody. But it runs in my family because, you know, my mom has always said the second that she retires that she will start growing and smoking her own marijuana.
Oh, your mom's going to be my best friend.
Yeah, she's
awesome.
I think
that's a great retirement plan.
Totally, right? Yeah.
Yeah, have a couple plants in your basement, in your attic.
Yeah. Yeah, and she lives like in the middle of nowhere in northern Minnesota, and just gonna grow it just right there. Just gonna pop it out and just let it rip.
The reality is, I think the way the Earth is going and the way global warming is sort of showing its face in these crazy ways, Syracuse being 60 degrees in the wintertime, we're gonna have to start growing from home.
Oh,
we're gonna need greenhouses.
Totally.
We're gonna need to learn how to become agriculturalists again and farmers again in order to get avocados or kale. Do you want kale, Becky? Because it's not going to be at your fucking grocery store in 10 years when the earth is all dried up.
Well, I mean, look how far we've come now. It's the middle of December, and I literally bought fresh strawberries yesterday. I was like, I don't remember that shit when we were kids.
That should not be available.
No.
Everything shouldn't be available all the time, because then we really start to take shit for granted on another level.
I said that this morning because my daughter's mom bought her a new phone 3 days ago.
No, you got to work for that shit. Nope. How bad do you want the phone?
We are literally 6 days away from the biggest gift giving day of the year.
Why are you? Your mom's blowing her load 3 days. What is she doing?
So angry about it. I was like, but then I just shut my mouth because it's not worth the argument. You're like, it's a great phone, sweetie, and you're just like, what? Because nothing is special now.
No.
Nothing special. Like, what are you gonna do on Christmas? You're gonna open up gifts and be like, oh, these kind of suck because they're not my brand new phone.
Yeah, it's the biggest day of the year. It's the biggest gift giving day of the year.
I was so. I
would have been pissed too.
Yes, nothing special, man. Nothing special.
It isn't. It's. I think because we have everything so accessible, and it also made me think. I had a thought today about kids on their phones and just their level of communicating. That you can communicate with anyone at any time.
Oh, absolutely.
And even almost, celebrities. You have access to all these celebrities, so it's almost like because of our accessibility to everything, we haven't. This generation now, and maybe I'm just projecting or guessing on and not being accurate about it, but I would imagine that they don't really have an appreciation that they're sort of able to communicate with everybody all the time, so they're not really developing or forging real relationships. Like when we grew up, I had 3 friends I used to hang out with in my neighborhood. We'd all fuck around, roll around in the streets and throw snow at each other and pumpkins at each other. And one time I kicked Tony Vecchio in the face and his tooth chipped. People don't really do that shit as much today.
No. No, the worst ass kicking I ever took was from my sister in an alley. And I was like, do you guys, I look at brothers nowadays and they just like, they don't talk, they don't wrestle.
They're on their fucking phone.
All the time. It's like they just hash it out on Street Fighter. And I was like, you guys should be beating the shit out of each other. What is happening with this?
You should be in the street fighting.
Yes, exactly.
You shouldn't be playing Street Fighter. You should be punching the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I think I would rather my kids beat each other up than be on their phones all the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's interesting. And it's like, but then you look at our generation, us growing up analog, being introduced into a digital world. We've turned out okay, but we've had the perspective of coming from that era.
Yeah.
Of that like shift over from it being like an analog technological world to a more digital world. Like that was barely on within our time frame of our childhood.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what it all is.
Yeah. A lot of it maybe stems from the anxiety that everybody feels about like our phones are creating that.
Oh yeah, because you're on it all fucking day.
I mean, you feel naked. You feel like you are just stranded at sea when you forget your phone somewhere. You're like, what the fuck am I going to do?
I was working out and normally when I work out, this is me just derobing. I'm just becoming Mr. Rogers. I'm sweating my balls off. I'm a hot Sicilian. Hold on. Here's the big reveal.
Wu-Tang. Oh, yeah. I accidentally listened to some ODB in the car with my daughter the other day, not even thinking about it.
Oh, good. That's a good parenting.
And I was like, and then halfway through it, I was like, well, what's the difference? You know,
what's
like,
the difference?
Yeah, she's 13 by now.
Let her meet ODB.
I agree. Yeah. You know, maybe she, listen.
Broaden those horizons. Broaden those rap horizons.
I don't want to, hinder her, but maybe she does like it raw. I'm just saying. I don't want to be that guy who listen, let your children figure it out on their own. But maybe ODB sends her down a path of liking it raw. I'm just saying. That was very Seinfeld of me. What if your children like it raw? What if they like it raw?
What's the deal with raw?
Oh, baby, they like it raw. Maybe they go down to get their food stamps in a limo. Who are these people?
I'll never forget the day Rudy said, maybe my daughter likes it raw on a podcast in the Mall of America.
Yeah. Well,
in our custom studio.
Yeah. Well, I want her to get the most out of life, and I don't feel like rubbers. I don't feel like rubbers are cutting it anymore.
We really need to improve the condom technology.
Don't we though?
Yeah.
Yes. For how long that has been, it's like condoms and those sticks that you place in between your groceries on the conveyor belts. Those technologies why is there not like a barrier laser that shoots out in between? Like, why is it that everything else, we're putting people on the moon and football players are getting shot into space, but no, we can't upgrade the technology. That stupid stick that you stick in between the groceries is bullshit.
It's all black. It has like black marks on it because no one's ever washed it.
Dude, it's still got ads in there from like, Red Owl. You're like, Jesus, Red Owl's been closed where did you guys get these? At wholesale? Just like taken from old grocery stores? What's the matter with you guys?
I always feel aggressive placing that on the belt, like I'm claiming steak, like this is my territory. Yes. And I'm always like, I always place it like this. I know this is yours. I'm just putting this right here. There's no offense. I'm not grossed out by your groceries. I just don't want them fucking touching mine.
Yeah. Your nasty ass frozen corn.
Although,
gross.
I did. Yeah, who eats frozen corn?
I agree. So
what the fuck are you doing?
So terrible. Where'd you go wrong in life?
It's so gross. Does that make us? Are we classists right now? Are we being a classist because people have to eat frozen corn? But I think it's just even people I know, like my sister and other people who are doing okay, are eating some gross ass food.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
It's just atrocious. Yeah. Truthfully, it's atrocious.
Hey, real quick, just because I know we're at like the 33-minute mark.
Yeah.
So the podcast that I do is A Long Walk to Cleveland.
Yeah.
It's kind of taken. In fact, actually, I didn't tell you this, but so we signed on to like a new different platform, and this will be the first episode of the new platform.
Hey, everybody.
And yeah, right. A long walk to Cleveland is a phrase that I had coined about 2 years ago when I realized that it is. It's putting in a lot of work for little in return.
Oh, because a lot of people talk shit about Cleveland and say
right?
Cleveland's not. Although I do love Cleveland. Every time I say this, people are like, "Are you crazy?" I love Cleveland.
Yeah,
I love the people there. Every time I've played there at the Hilarities, it's just Pickwick and Frolic is like just it's classic.
I hear it's amazing. I've never been. I have an entire podcast all about named after that city. I've never been.
Perfect.
You're right.
You can never go.
No, you're right.
You can never go. Debbie and I have never seen, my assistant Debbie and I, we've never seen Goodfellas.
Oh, if you're this far now, don't do it. Don't ever see it. Yeah.
I'm making a merch shirt with the Goodfellas style font.
Uh-huh.
And because I'm doing that, Debbie's like, we can't ever watch the movie now.
Yes.
So please don't send me hate because I haven't seen Goodfellas. I am a Sicilian. I'm a terrible Sicilian because I know it's about the Sicilian mafia. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's cotton balls in Marlon Brando's mouth.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah. Yeah. Marlon Brando.
Brando.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the same. Like every time I hear like a 40-year-old getting a tattoo, I'm like, why?
That'll be me.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck's the point now?
I'm a 39-year-old and I just got a fresh one.
Yeah. Like but if you've never had one.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's what I'm saying.
So
like
because I'm adding on, it's okay.
Yeah. My brother-in-law's stepmom went and got a tattoo and she's like 63.
Don't you think it's the equivalent of like a 63-year-old man buying a sports car?
Maybe a little. Yeah.
It's like a not midlife crisis, but more of like a midlife fuck you.
Could be. Yeah. And maybe it's just like they're going through a thing where they're like regretting all the things that they should have done.
Right. And a lot of people, when you get to your deathbed, I bet most people want more time and they think about the shit that they haven't done. And I even think about the shit that I didn't do, things in the face of a moment where I could have taken an opportunity and I didn't, even if it had made the situation or my life turn out completely different, which obviously would have because every decision sends you in a different trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
But there are moments in my life where I could have really seized the moment and I didn't and I fucking regret it. And it's always those moments where you're like, "Ooh, I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is kind of fucked up. I'm scared." That's when you have to push through. That's when you feel those emotions, that's when you need to keep going. That's like the stuff in life that really sort of determines and dictates what the rest of your life will become.
Yeah.
Like actually like stepping through those moments that you're scared to do something.
Absolutely. Yeah. I heard a really good analogy the other day. This was actually, speaking of earlier, from Adam Corolla. He had on Mitch Albom, who wrote Tuesdays with Morrie.
Yes.
And Mitch has a new book out. And in the book, he makes a comment about there's a guy who tells this group of people that are on a raft that he is Jesus. He is the savior. And
that's how you start a cult.
That's right. It is
in Lake Tahoe, California.
I was going to say, go down to Waco. I hear they got lovely property down there for cheap.
I drove through Waco on my trip.
Did you really?
Yeah. I stopped by the Branch
the old compound.
I did.
Yeah.
You can barely see it from the road, but I just wanted to check it out.
I'm like, wow, they got a lot of robes for cheap here.
Yeah.
It's weird.
God, there's a lot of bullet holes in the dirt.
Yeah.
What happened here?
But Mitch talks about how this guy says he's the Lord, and somebody asks, well, if you're the Lord, do you how come you don't answer every prayer? And he goes, no, I answer every prayer, but sometimes the answer is no.
Ooh.
Yes, that's what I did when I heard that. I was like, oh my God.
Damn.
And then I started going into Garth Brooks. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. I was just like, fucking that. He should have married that girl. He should have done it. Oh no, he didn't, because God had a plan. He had a plan.
Yeah, he has a plan.
Blueprints and everything.
Every one of us. I mean, an unanswered prayer is a plan.
Yeah. Have you noticed, you haven't said a word about all the pilots that are coming through.
I just made eye contact with thee. How you doing? Let's fly high. Mile High Club.
Yes.
Yes, we are doing a podcast. Thank you for your service.
Yep.
Thank you for servicing me later in the cockpit.
It is called Single Pilots du Jour.
Let's be real, though. I was walking around the airport and I saw like a pilot like walking around like all sure cocky, like I'm a fucking pilot. They don't have to do anything. It's not like, back in the day when the technology was something different. They just push a button and the plane flies and lands itself.
Dude, yes.
How hard it could be. If I could have a podcast, I could probably fly a fucking plane.
Yeah.
We have more buttons to deal with.
Absolutely. Some guy isn't out there putting on the leather helmet. He ain't crop dusting. That guy ain't out there with a propeller.
I'm crop dusting at my house while I record my podcast.
Absolutely. You're doing way more crop dusting than those two guys that just walked by. Absolutely.
Please,
I don't like
if you're
that.
a pilot, hit either Rudy or I up. Email me, Jessimae Peluso comedy@gmail.com. Tell me what you're really doing in the cockpit. I want to know, you don't have to reveal your name. You can hide your name. You can email me from a fake email account.
Yeah.
I just want to know what really is going on in the cockpit, because I really imagine you guys are just drinking coffee and scrolling on your Grindr or your Tinder accounts.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Which I wonder what that picks up if you're flying over across the country. Probably get a lot of different areas.
Yeah. I bet nowadays, just because there's so many diverse groups of people that have become pilots. I bet back in the day, it was like a guy's ice shanty. You just walked in and they just had like Hustler magazines, like cutouts, just like posted up. You know what I mean? Like
Bing Crosby's always playing for some reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just like Mad Men, just dudes up there drinking highballs and
calling
shit.
women
like,
broads. Get that broad to refresh my cocktail.
Yeah, fuck, dude.
Do you remember
I know
that movie Flight with Denzel Washington when he flipped the fucking
the plane over. Yeah. And then he does a bunch of cocaine to even himself out because he's all blasted. Yes, I do remember that movie.
When he flipped the plane, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Is this even fucking like possible?
That's a good question. We should ask them two dudes walking.
I know we should. Next time I'm going to ask a pilot if you could really flip it Denzel Washington style. Yeah. Like he was just so wasted. He's like, I'll fix it.
Yeah, and then did it and You were like, these chairs are so great. These are going to be awesome for the podcast. We can't wait for these chairs. Literally almost killed yourself. Oh, no. Oh, son of a bitch. That sucks. Well, anyway.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
Well, since you're a guy, I want to include you on a segment that I was doing on Sharp Tongue. And
okay.
I've since migrated over to the Girl Podcast, which is one of my 7 podcasts.
Sure.
But Carly and I haven't had a hot minute to do it yet. So I thought, since you're a guy, maybe I could share it with you.
Okay.
And I know you'll pop these up in the post edit, so
sure.
I don't have to show them to the screen.
Okay.
So I do a segment called Carpe Diems.
Yes.
It's where I go and I look through my DMs and I just read them and just give me your thoughts as a guy.
Okay.
This is a DM that says, I love you. And then he posts a whole bunch of hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And then he says, I love you very much.
Munch.
Not much, but munch.
Okay.
I didn't respond. Then he said, I love you, Jessimae.
Jessimae.
Spelled my name wrong. Meanwhile, he could just look up to the name that he's messaging to and just double check the spell check, but no worries. And then he says, I am a Turkish man.
Oh, yeah. No, this is a Saudi prince for sure.
Okay, well then I should respond.
Yeah. Yes, you definitely.
I want a tiger.
Yeah. I mean, you can help him out with his grammar a little bit, but other than that, yeah, I think you go for it.
I think it's not bad, right? He's professing his love, very Disney Prince style. Yeah. Very Disney Saudi Prince style.
Yeah. What would you rather have in life? Would you rather have somebody that you have to like work hard to be able to love you, or have somebody who's already fawning over you?
You know, most women would want that love right away, but then if it's a guy who's a little bit weak and demure, we're like, he's weird. But if it's a guy playing hard to get, of course we want him to love us so much, but he never does because guys like that never do. So it's a fucking vicious cycle and a circle of conundrum in the dating world.
Yeah.
Here's another one. He said, happy birthday. Thank you for making me laugh. Then he said, when are you going to slide into Sasha's dad's DMs?
Okay, who's Sasha?
That's his daughter.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, dude, that's creative.
But look at this photo.
He's with a dude or with a lady. Why would he?
It looks like he's with.
Yeah.
Are you with your wife, sir?
Did Telly Savalas just come back from the dead? Because look at that bald head and those shades, man. That guy is all about you.
Also, you better be a widower. Your wife better not be alive and you're sliding in my DMs.
Yeah.
But maybe Sasha's dad is somebody else and you're trying to be a wingman, which we respect.
Totally. 1,000%.
We don't know the full story, so we're not going to judge you, but who the fuck is the lady next to you?
Yeah.
This one's fun. This is from Save Smiles Uganda.
Okay.
Hello, sister. Nice to meet you. See, I don't even think they're trying to marry me. They just want to make friends.
Yeah, I like that.
It's really sweet, simple. Nice to meet you too.
Not everything on the internet is negative.
No, but here we go. So as a woman.
Yes, I'm listening.
We want a little bit of effort.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you guys kind of feel the same. Or do you like to chase?
Yeah. I've had this conversation before, but I like to go after somebody that I feel is unattainable.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that's most men.
Yeah.
I think just naturally you guys like to hunt.
Yeah. Well, it's a feeling of accomplishment that I am worthy of that person's love. I got them to love me. Meanwhile, there's probably 12 ladies that would be more than happy and be an amazing partner that you could probably cup with over the winter. But you're
still not sure if that's the truth.
Yeah. But you're just like, no, piss on it. I have to find somebody that I have to win over to make me feel better about me.
So I know that somebody really loves me because they tried so hard.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy just says hi.
Hi.
That's it.
Yeah, that's nice. Lovely.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
Okay. Well, you know what? Maybe you're right.
The most bare minimum.
Yeah.
Hi?
Yeah, you're right.
I can't even get an emoji? I can't get like a little warthog or the cute little porcupine that they added at the last update? Nothing, just a hi?
Was he saying hello or explaining what he is at the time?
Look at his photo. He's underneath the fucking waterfall.
That guy is definitely not high.
This dude's like, you know what? I don't need anything else. I'm underneath the waterfall.
Yeah, that's all I need. I need to show people that I've been to places.
Yeah, I need to show people that I'm adventurous.
I have zero personality, but I'm just, look at me next to this waterfall.
I'll make all your dreams come true.
Yeah, look at that.
I look at that and I think, oh, I'm going to drown and die in whatever nature preserve he's going to throw me into.
Meanwhile, he's just standing up against a wall at IKEA that has one of those giant posters. Look at me next to this waterfall. Yeah.
It's a poster from Spencer's. Okay, so this is from Stevie Leo. He says, single dad, just saying hi. You are awesome. Thanks for the laughs. See, there's a little bit of effort.
Yeah, I like that.
He's tapping into my vibe, which is dad sliding into my DMs.
Yep.
He says, just saying, like, bitch, what we gonna do here?
Yeah, that's nice.
But then he's got, this apocalyptic.
Dude, yeah.
The eyes are intense. You have beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah. Have you seen those those videos of like all those marauding groups of people like knocking over Macy's or something?
Sir, did you storm the Capitol?
Yeah.
Sir, you have an I stormed the Capitol kind of face.
You're giving off a real insurrection kind of vibe. Where were you January 6th?
At least you get things done.
Yeah.
You're a man with a plan.
Yeah.
Let's do another one.
Oh my God. Nobody has ever DM'd me before. And look at you. It's just nonstop. It's nonstop.
This is like a fraction of what I get.
I swear to God, like all I would have to do is just like make a fake Instagram account, and it would be just put like one picture of yourself, just like a halfway decent looking gal, and you get 10,000 followers immediately.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
Like, it's what social media has become.
Yeah.
This guy says, "Uncle here." Also sliding into the DMs.
Ah, that's great.
Okay. I see you, Uncle. But are you rich?
Well, it's half commitment. You don't have to be a stepmom, just a step aunt.
But see, I'm kind of feeling the stepmom vibe. I feel like I'd be a good stepmom, especially because I'm almost 40. I don't know if I'm going to have my own kids, so I kind of want to live vicariously through your children.
Yeah.
But also, are you rich? Is it bad that that's my prerequisite at this point in my life?
No, not at all.
You.
I mean, you got to have a plan. Some people have 401ks. Some people have nice fucking racks. Hey, dude, some people can't save money. You got to work with what you got.
Okay, wait, can we do another one?
Yeah.
Okay, this one made me laugh. This is from Brandon Parkhurst. Hey, just wanted to tell you I think you're fine as hell. Just give me a chance with the cry face. His cry face.
Oh, no.
I'm a 21-year-old, 6 foot tall redhead with blue eyes and depression.
Well, I'm sold.
I'm sold.
I mean,
I love fixing things.
Yeah, that's awesome. Can't wait, bud.
Brandon, you get some love and you get some love.
Well, I'd like to go get coffee with you. Can we do it around 2:30? Because I got a therapy appointment at 1 that I can't miss.
I got a sad bath.
Yeah.
Who says
sad bath?
Someone says sad bath.
I'm a sad bath.
Oh my God. Someone says, one of my friends has that in their like Twitter profile. I can't think of who it is. Oh my God. I just saw it the other day and I was like, that is so fucking funny that they take sad baths. Sorry, I can't remember who you are. I'll add it in the notes at some point if I can remember. But that's just a fraction of my DMs, Tudes.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that I'm so like jealous of the brazen guys that are just so like they don't feel any sort of awkwardness or weirdness about just sending a random stranger like, hey, want to fuck?
I know, it is a strange thing. And, for a woman, I've slid into DMs, just because of my page and what I do. It's given me like, not an authority, but people don't, I guess I'm validated, I'm verified. So
sure.
I'm an actual person. So maybe people have a little bit less of a feeling about it. But, I've slid into DMs and I've made friendships that way. But I got yelled at, or at least made fun of by Carly. I'm sure you saw when I slid into Michael Keaton's DMs. Did you see that video?
I remember you guys talking about it. I don't know if I remember the story about you guys sliding. It
was just me. I slid into his DMs.
Okay. Refresh my memory because I don't remember.
It was either a Sharp Tongue episode with us promoting Girl, or it was on Girl.
It was on Girl. I do remember that it was on Girl, yeah.
Well, I slid in because I love Michael Keaton. I think like that's my vibe, like a rich dad right there. He's a little bit older than I would like.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's going to happen down there, in the area. Is he still able to throw in some good pumps?
Mm-hmm.
Is his hip going to pop?
Does he have that Beetlejuice costume at home? You throw that thing on every once in a while.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Now you're really getting the juices flowing. Is he going to fuck me in the Beetlejuice costume? Fuck. Dreams can come true. They can happen to you. So I slid into his DMs and I was like, hey, I just can't say it. It's so embarrassing.
No. Now that we're here, you've already brought it up. Got to fire the gun.
It's really embarrassing. I'm like purple right now. I said, hey, I'm a big fan of yours. I just want to tell you that.
That was it. You bitch about other people not shooting their shot. That was all you had to say. I'm a big fan and I love you. Oh my God.
Carly, I showed Carly because I sent it and she goes, okay, delete that right now because you look fucking crazy.
Yeah.
She's like, you can't say that as a woman. And I think it's such a big fucking double standard that all these DMs that I get, a spectrum of lack of effort to over effort to letting me know about your mental depression. And I can't express my love without appearing like a crazy fucking too available woman.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to look at you to solve the problem, but that's my gripe.
No. Well, let me ask, how did he respond?
He didn't.
Oh,
I
God
deleted
damn
it. He said, I'm Batman. And I was like, and I'm Robin.
Ah, shit.
Is there any closing thoughts? I mean, I feel like you and I could pod forever. We were going to pod at your place. We're going to have to put a pin in that one because I fucked it all up with getting my license.
Well, real quick, only because I don't want to like lose consistency on what it is that I'm trying to do. But also when I was bringing up earlier, the long walk to Cleveland moniker, the motto of it is, it's not only just people who like do a ton of work and get little in return. It's also like that journey of life and like how the fuck you got to where you're at.
Yeah.
So usually most of the time when I do, because we got like 3 or 4 these podcasts in the can ready to go for when it launches. And we basically just start out like, all right, let's hear the story from like start to getting us here now.
Yeah.
And where'd you grow up? How'd you grow up? Who were your parents? Give me a truncated version because
we could do a truncated one. Then when I get to your studio, we'll do a full.
Absolutely, because I do know a little bit. I know a little bit of the backstory. I know Syracuse.
Yep.
I know moving to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you were in New York for a little while.
Yep.
You had Girl Code.
Mm-hmm.
You had obviously the 3 podcasts that you're doing right now with 31 more down the pike that I can't wait to spend all my time. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be with Spotify.
Yeah. And you have like such an amazing story with your parents. And so if you could give me like a little bit of where Jessimae started and how we kind of got to here.
Started from the bottom. Now I'm here.
Yeah.
In the
Broad
mall.
strokes. Yeah.
Broad strokes. So I grew up in a middle class area in Syracuse, New York, the north side of Syracuse, New York. My parents both worked multiple jobs. My mom raised me. She stayed home until I was like 8. My dad had a bunch of jobs. My parents got divorced when I was about 9. My mom and dad just didn't work out, although they remained amicable. There was no divorce. There was no custody. My dad just moved nearby, like literally 2 blocks away. And
Really?
I went over whenever I wanted.
Did they ever file? So they never filed like legally? They just separated?
They did like 10, 15 years later. So
No
they just
shit.
separated to keep everything as easy as possible.
No way.
I mean, I say that, and then my mom moved the neighbor's dad in.
Like
Steve.
literally.
I was
No
like,
kidding.
Steve's here. Yeah. I don't know if you heard me talk about it last night at the show.
Yeah.
And Steve's still there. Steve still lives in the house.
See, I do have a thing about like, because I've had a couple of girlfriends cheat.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're like 22, you're like, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you do. You cheat.
You go into homes where there's already families and you fucking cheat.
Yeah. But one of the gals that I kind of thought like, oh, I could end up marrying this person. She cheated on me and is still together with that guy today. And they have like 3 gorgeous kids. And I'm like, dude, how can you be mad about that?
I know.
You
That's
can't.
why I say like everyone makes these decisions. I was talking about this last night where, there was a guy in the audience who was with a lady and they had only been together for 2 years. And I knew it was like a second relationship or marriage. And she was the neighbor.
Yeah.
And we, the audience got all tight, like judging. Are we really going to judge? The reason why we judge is because we see something common in somebody. It reflects something about ourselves.
Totally.
And it makes us sort of connect to the part of ourselves that we feel shame about. I don't have any shame about it. And my mom, fuck it. She moved the neighbor's dad in. Steve moved in and he was there for a really long time. And so, I grew up in Syracuse. I left when I was 18, only because my dad had introduced me to stand-up comedy. My dad was best friends with Mike Goss, and Mike Goss was best friends with Bobcat Goldthwait, and Bobcat and I know each other because Bobcat's from my hometown. Salt potatoes.
Oh my God.
He's got a salt potato tattoo on his arm. And so when Mike Goss would go out on the weekend, you know, all the local comics like Nick Mara and Moody McCarthy and Mike Goss and Gomez Adams, all these guys from upstate New York, they'd go out and do road work. And then they'd all meet on Sunday morning at this little diner in Syracuse. And my dad would go and hang out and he'd bring me. So here I am, this like preteen, teenage girl, the only one at the table listening to these guys' stories about these cities that they visited and the stand-up that they did and them working their jokes together at this diner and then busting each other's balls. And I was like, this is a life? Like, you guys get to leave here, make money and come back.
Yeah.
Like, that's a job. And so that really opened my eyes to possibilities. Because I think unless you're exposed to certain scenarios or people or environment, you don't know what you're capable of. You don't know the world that exists outside of your boundaries and your walls. So it made me hungry to know what was out there because I knew that there was more to life than just Syracuse because of these guys that had traveled so much. And obviously all the comedy shows and specials my dad would watch really influenced me. And so I left when I was 18. I went to Boston first and I did improv for a few years. And then I started stand-up within that process and I fell in love with stand-up. And then I got an opportunity to move to New York. My best friend, Erin Birmingham, she got her law degree at Cardozo College and had to go to New York. And she's like, you're the only person I could live with. And I'm pretty sure she doesn't regret that to this day because I used to drive her nuts when we lived together. But we moved to Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, lived there for a couple years. I lived in New York for 10 years, cutting my teeth. Did all the bringer shows, worked with Roger Paul. You're not a fucking stand-up comedian unless you worked with Roger Paul. He would send me to Pennsylvania for a $40 gig. I'd be out of pocket $300 to do like a 20-minute spot at the lobby of a Marriott in fucking Lancaster.
Yep.
But that's what you did, and I did that for a decade, and then I got Girl Code. People always say that. How did you get Girl Code? Well, it took 10 years of failure. That's all it took.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
I got Girl Code, did that for a couple years, and then E! Network came to me and was like, we'd like to have you in an overall deal. So I did a development deal. That's why I moved from New York to LA because E! wanted me to go with them to build out their comedy department. And that also happened to be the year that Chelsea Handler sort of blew up her show, not in like a good way. Her show had been on air for a while and she just was sick of doing it. And so that was E!'s mainstay. The Chelsea Handler show, Chelsea Lately, and also Joan Rivers was a huge part of their comedy department. So they wanted to bring me in to sort of be a part of that. Well, that year, Chelsea said what she said on Howard and her show went away and Joan died. So here I am in this like
oh my God.
Year of all these possibilities, but E! was just so busy plugging holes.
Yeah.
So their focus went to mending what was broken instead of building. So it was a great year. We made a shitload of pilots and I learned a lot and I built a lot of great relationships. And then through that, I just started touring a lot. And, Girl Code was an amazing thing that helped me go on the road. Mm-hmm. But you still have to reinvent yourself and find ways to create content and find ways to output.
Yeah.
And so podcasting came about and through that whole process of sort of touring and doing the podcast and all these other gigs you do, there's so many different types of shows. Like if you had a show, I was on it, at midnight and Comedy Knockout and everything on VH1 and MTV. I've done every type of show. We joked about it earlier, but I go. It's just who I am. And then, everything sort of evolved these past few years because my dad was sick in 2017 with vascular dementia, and then we lost him in 2018, and then quarantine hit and my relationship crumbled, and then my mom died. So I sort of had this like crash course these past 4 years of grief and trauma, and sort of it forced me to assess the ways I dealt with things. It forced me to really understand why I got into stand-up comedy, and my why has changed in the process of losing really important people in my life. And now I'm on this like new trajectory of really wanting to have an impact. Like before, it was all about getting the laugh. While I enjoy getting the laugh, I want to have more of an impact. I want to like evoke change and help people overcome their trauma and know that through all of that, there is a silver lining and there are ways to cope that are healthy, and you don't need to resort to toxic behaviors and people in order to numb yourself. You don't need to be afraid of going into that darkness because that's where all the answers are.
Totally. Yeah. I know.
Was that truncated enough?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know.
Any questions?
I don't want you to get like too broad about it. You're like, I was born and now I'm here. Fucking done. That's it. That's all we got. But I noticed that last night too. Like sometimes, a lot of times when comics are on stage, you can tell that they are super uncomfortable with the silence. Mm-hmm. And I think you kind of revel in it.
I do like it more now than I ever have.
Yeah.
Because I'm not afraid of it. Because my goals have changed and my desires have changed. I still want people to laugh and I still want to entertain, but now it's sort of like a 50-50, maybe even like 60-40 experience of feeling. I want people to feel.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make them remember. That's what's going to make them retain. And that's what's going to really at least make them think when they go home. I want to change these motherfuckers' minds.
Yeah.
Especially men, and about women and how women act and why women are a certain way.
Totally.
And especially women realizing why they are that way. Not that I know everyone's experience, but I know what I've been through and I know how I've acted. And I know that it represents a large population. Mm-hmm. So for me, I have a stage and an opportunity to really bring some awareness to scenarios that other people normally wouldn't even know about, and they're going through it and they don't even know ways to cope with it, like Alzheimer's and rape. There's a lady walking by, they want to yell rape. Like it should be like, what?
Butt sex, what?
Butt sex and rape and divorce and loss. She looked right at me. So yeah, the silence is a challenge, but I know that they're not laughing, that's fine. But I can feel when they're thinking.
Absolutely.
I can feel when they're feeling.
You can hear the gears grinding in their heads. Yes, absolutely.
There's a couple different types of silence in comedy, and one is you are not fucking funny.
Yep.
And one is, oh shit, this is something that is hitting my soul.
Totally, yeah. Yep. The one nice thing I thought about last night too as I was watching your set was, even though there's this moment of silence, and even though everybody in the room is probably going, okay, this isn't exactly stand-up comedy, but where is it going? You find a way to at least inject a little bit of humor,
right,
to keep it on the realm of a comedy show. Because what I thought was so brilliant last night is there was this moment where the crowd was pretty silent and you were having a real nice moment on stage talking about your dad or personal life or what we do as humans. I can't remember exactly what it was, but as I was watching this, I'm like, where's the joke? Because there's got to be a joke coming. It can't be too far out. And your comment was something like, we as people, we evolve. We like different things. Some of us enjoy silence. Some of us like butt sex. And like got a huge laugh and then went right back to silent again. And I was like, that's what I was waiting for you to do, and that's the beauty of it, is that when you can find somebody who can do both of those things very well, it's nice because people leave there just going, fuck, I needed that. Like one of the best compliments I ever had, not to take away from your story, I apologize.
No, please do.
But I was doing some local theater, and it was, there was like probably 5 short plays all within like a 2-hour span. Right. And in this play, the play I was doing with this other lady, it was the two of us. This play was about, it wasn't a comedic play. It was a drama, and this woman had breast cancer, and she had her breast removed, and then I was the husband, and we had this big moment, and then they finally, at the end, it all kind of like comes out, and they have this big argument, but at the end, they realize that they love each other. And after the play, I'm outside in the lobby, and you're shaking hands and kissing babies and doing all that, and this woman comes up to me, mid-60s. She walks up and she goes, I just want to say, I was diagnosed with breast cancer 4 months ago. I had a mastectomy 2 months ago. And I thought tonight, all I needed to do was laugh. And what I really needed to do was cry.
Oh, shit.
And I fucking lost it. I've never cried like that in public, man. Oh. I cried so hard. I welled up and I was like, keep it together. Give it. Not here.
I'm a man. Men don't cry. Men don't cry. Men don't cry.
And I got in the car, and it was like a 40-minute drive home, and I fucking bawled my eyes out.
People need to let it out.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree.
Through all of it, we're a vessel up there, and it's an opportunity and it's an honor to be able to have people's time and attention. And what you do with that really matters. It matters to me now. Before, it's not that it didn't matter. It just, I was kind of just going out without a focus and a goal. And now I know what my goal and my focus are. And it really, moments like that really keep you going.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
It really, it reminds you like the opportunity and the honor that we have doing what we do. Wu-Tang for the children.
However, if that guy fucks my daughter raw, I will kill her.
See, you can't choose who fucks your daughter raw. See, beggars can't be chooser. Beggars cannot be choosers. You got to just deal with it. You got to sit in your pain.
I brought it on myself. I willed it in. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Are we going to put
this on Sharp Tongue too? We have to.
Absolutely. Yes. We'll do an audio swap.
Yes.
Audio swap.
Doug Stanhope style.
Swapcast. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's what he calls it. Swapcast. Him and Bert used to do that a lot.
We are just going to go ahead and throw our garage door openers in a bowl and we're going to swapcast. Well, that's a good way to end. I love the shit out of you. I'm so glad that we are working together.
I know. We do have a lot of fun. I'm sorry if I drive you nuts, but it's only because I care.
Absolutely. And I wish more people cared about their product the way you care about yours. And not because you care about your product, but because you care about the content that you are giving to people that you do genuinely care about. And I feel like for every person that listens to one of your podcasts, you speak to them directly. And
that's my goal.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to go home and be like, this fucking girl sends me 4 fucking text messages every fucking hour and wants things done right away. Wish she would get her shit more organized. But I love working with her. The same way you cried on the way home from that woman, you're gonna go and swear on your way home after this podcast.
Literally, yeah.
I'm like, can we post it in an hour?
If I don't jump off the 4th floor of this fucking mall, it's gonna end it now. So much easier.
For everybody listening, yes, we did miss an episode last week in Sharp Tongue. Apologies.
Yeah.
We'll be back. We're back this week. You're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right on.
We needed a week off.
Dude, sometimes yes.
Shit,
yes.
We were doing so much.
Yeah.
You know? I need you to miss me a little bit, fuckers.
Yes. Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Hello.
Absolutely.
Where was she? Now here she is.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Trying to snatch up your dads for the holiday season. Only rich dads. Send them my way. Yeah. I'll be a good stepmom.
And preferably in the next 24 hours because there's a free hotel room.
Yes, please. And it's a long walk to Cleveland. Don't forget. I'll be walking there and telling him the full story at some point.
Fuck yes, you will. I'll be listening to every word. Can't wait.
Well, make sure you edit this immediately.
Today, right now. Be done. And then get the fuck back to it. Hop back into that basement.
Me in the chair.
Been an awful. I would have still uploaded it, by the way. I'd have been like, you guys got to check this shit out. Just yelling, World Star.
Clip it. Bye.
Bye.